Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. It's 1 p.m. on my continual journey of waking up late today. Late is now the new early, I suppose. I'm waking up at like noon now. It's fine. You're just gonna slowly watch my sleeping slide into 1, 2, 3 p.m. Probably not 3 p.m. Not later than 1, honestly. But anyway, hope you're doing well. I'm doing fine today. Not too bad. Oh yeah, we're Wurmkin today. Yesterday was melting. I actually kind of remember the run yesterday. Crazy, huh? 2 days ago was the Shadow Eater run. Today, we've had some good ones this week, I gotta say. I think there's highs and lows in Monster Train, and we're currently in a high, which is good. Enjoyable, I would say. Anything? Not particularly. I suppose, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we can begin. Wurmkin X Awoken, great clan combo, very good secondary for Wurmkin. We have Rage Talos, Shadow Arcus, Diligent Seraph, Echo Seer, Sharpen, Enforced Contamination. I think this is probably the best combo for Wurmkin. A lot of units that use Wurmkin buffs very well. I'm gonna pick Wing Clippings because it's Diligent Seraph. You could make a case for Boon of the Blacksmith, but Wing Clippings is very nice. Have I played Reap Chef lately? I don't feel like I have. Do I want to? Not really, but I don't think Infector is that good here, so let's go Reap. We can do something a little different today. Because I have an idea. I guess it's not that different, it's just play Reap Chef and then play like a Sweeper or probably a multi-strike unit behind and try to swing some survival through Awoken healing cards on Chef, because Chef has enough base HP to live around. So one healing card will keep him alive through it all. One Root Seed's here. I'm going to get the Collector. It's a shame because I would have liked to have grabbed the Sharpen on the Chef, but... Oh, and we're definitely playing the other Train Steward to save 15 HP. That has to be right. Now, I do not want to get hit. I'm just doing the math real quick. I think I draw Forced Contamination. 2 Echo Snares. Let's play... I'm gonna Greed. I'm not sure if I can get away with it. Oh, it's the other boss. My mistake. I thought this was... I had the wrong boss. I thought we were fighting Chains, who does 6 damage. We're not. We're fighting Disciple Inquisitor, which does 5 damage with Trample, which is significantly easier. But cool. I'm gonna take Bounding Echoes. It's purple. It makes other cards purple. That's good enough. I'm kind of more of a fan of Steel Enhancer here, but I know that Steel Enhancer must be the wrong pick. I think Glimmer is the take here. It's purple. It heals. That seems like the idea. Could I play Thorned Hollow here? Hell no, I couldn't play Thorned Hollow here. Are you out of your mind? What about Kinhost Vessel? I don't think so. I mean, I could play it, but I'm gonna skip. As long as the next banner isn't double hollow, I think it's right to skip. If this is Awoken Hollow, Thorned Hollow, then things are a little dire. But there's a multi-strike here. Ah, yeah, Shattered Shell, Animus of Will. I think the best unit to take here is Animus of Will, because Shattered Shell, I don't really need Sweep because we have Reap. So I'm gonna go Animus of Will. And I'm going to give Animus of Will multi-strike. Plus 25. I would really like to give plus 3 per Echo, but I cannot. Take the Relic. We get Light's Gift, which is actually not that good here, because we want to play a lower floor for Chef. However, I can play a higher floor, and then, I can play top floor, and then let Animus just chill. Combo her with the Reap. I think it's right because Light's Gift is very good. And we can be a little more dynamic with where we play ourselves. But yeah, like Mark of Invasion here, top 4 is a no-brainer. It's an interesting conundrum. Reap is good, but it kind of depends on if I'm going to play around the Chef or the Reap. It's dependent on if I see a good card for buffing in this ring or not, I think. If I see Razor Sharp Edge or Echo Transfer, right, then I think it's better to play around Animus of Will. But it's kind of a toss-up. You could also argue that the multi-strike is wrong to take because she already has multi-strike, but I think it's good. And, I mean, we get out of this early game very much no problem now. It's a longevity question now. Am I gonna play around Sharpen? Honestly, maybe. I hope not. What do we see here? Echo Transfer, okay. I mean, I think we basically... Oh, and Razor Sharp Edge if we want it. Do we want it? Great question. I think we want it. I was gonna go Vine Grasp there, but I think we want it. Okay, I mean, now we're absurdly strong. I could have even just gone to Duplicate, now that I think about it an extra second. I wanted to come over here and grab the health and a -1 for Razor Sharp Edge, but also like a +10 isn't bad. Let's see what's in the caverns. Hey, hell. That's great, that's so good here. Decay Decoy on Reap Chef? Hell yes. Fire me up, I'm ready. I'm here. I am available. This is important to notice, but so we should have 4 temples. At least 3. 4, yeah, 4. 4 was just a guess because I didn't want to say 5. It was that. A lot of times I find myself in these videos and in these games. I'm gonna double stack Force Contamination, by the way. A lot of times I find myself saying something like that, and you might think to yourself, "Oh wow, how did he know? How did you know there were gonna be 4 temples? Is he really that experienced with Monster Train?" No, that was a guess. That was that was 100% a guess. I just took a shot in the dark. I said, you know what it feels like here? It feels like 4. I feel the number 4. It was like I had a psychic moment. You ever have one of those where you just know what's gonna happen? No, of course not. It's not real. But I experienced a psychic moment and I said 4. And I was right, because I'm a genius. I'm a knower. I know what's going on. I'll just like absolutely annihilate Talos here. 30 Reap. It's like 120 damage per round, potentially. Alright, well I can't do anything down here, unfortunately. She'll probably die when she comes back to the top floor. I think she should come back to top floor here. I hope she does. I'm gonna Force Contamination the Forge Disciple. It's bad if Talos goes middle floor, but if she goes top floor like this, then there's a chance that I get the kill here. Folks. Worth looking for, you know? Mostly just for fun. Maybe you could min-max a little more, but mostly just for fun. We have a little fun here sometimes, 3-turning the boss. Unleash the Wildwood is the other card we're looking for. Steel Singer. No, it's not. Oh, look. I am a firm believer in Team Steel Singer. I think even from this position you could win with Steel Singer, but I don't think it would be good. I don't think I think that it's difficult, and I don't think it's worth it. Now, the infusion is actually really good though. I take space here, and then I get +20, +40 on my Animus of Will, and I get this, like, the rejuvenates whatever. 20/40 in stats is really good. Actually, Rejuvenate Cultivate 2 might be better, but I think that Cultivate 2 is, it's 2/2 versus 1 attack. Looking at these side by side is pretty grim, huh? I need to make a choice. What do I want? At 10? No. I'm gonna go Steel Singer Infusion. I think it's fine. I don't think it's great, but I think 20/40 in base stats just makes the Animus so powerful. But then I'm gonna go right and make 2 removals happen. We're also going to look for a different infusion should it be offered. Yeah, like Animus of Will, actually. I think base stats are good, but we have so many buff cards now that multi-strike is much better. So, I should have opened this first, actually. That's an order issue. I open that first and I find the Animus so that I don't have to pay 60 for the Steel Singer removal. It's not a big deal, but it's a process improvement thing. We can make that better. We're gonna go, we actually hit the plus 10 piercing as well. Yeah, because we're only losing 3 attack overall because of how this works. I believe I've talked about this before, but you know, at this point, pretty much everything I'm ever going to tell you is something that I've probably already told you before. However, it doesn't hurt to re-explain things for people who don't know. There's no sense in saying I'm over-explaining things, because nobody's ever gonna go, oh, you've already told me this, I don't care, I'm not listening. I mean, if you're not listening, what the hell are you doing here? But nothing, you don't even hear me right now. However, anyway, the way that it works is that a unit that has their attack reduced below 0, the number is reduced below 0 only outside of combat. This is how Monster Train works with all numbers. You can see it here. I'm waiting because I want to illustrate. You see it goes up to 2 even though she's at 0. Now, this number is actually, and this is how it works with health as well. You'll see this with health, except health's number is 1 instead of 0. The number that the Animus of Will is at is actually, what was it? It's Animus of Will infusion gives minus 15, so she's actually at negative 12 attack. However, in combat, you can't play a unit at a negative number, so the game equalizes it out to 0 or 1 for health. Now, the 1 for health happens in a specific other case, which is, it happens with Offering Totem. That's not it. Is that it? The draw 1, minus 5 HP draw 1. What is that card called? I swear it's called like Offering Monument, right? Offering Monument sounds right. When that card, if you reduce that card to 0 and it has Endless, it will come back to life in your hand at 1 HP. But the game, if you then give it minus total max HP, I think it does something weird. But anyway, that's basically how it works. The numbers go to 0 only outside of combat. So what this actually means, if you're like, oh, well, who cares if it just goes up? What it means is if you have a unit at negative 12 and you give it like a plus 10 attack from the shop, it will still be 0 attack. Because it'll be at negative 2. That's what it actually means. That's what all of this is to talk about. Someone asked in the comments, by the way, about a few days ago. It was I said Decayed Decoy isn't that good because Reap is usually applied in big numbers, and they said isn't Reap usually applied in small numbers. From cards, the only card that I have seen that really gives Reap other than Fracture is Soul Cripple. I guess Wurmkin Spike is another one, right? And that's a big number one. Focus Growth is okay, but if I take Focus Growth, I have to take Energy. I'd rather take a Graft and give it a plus 10. I wonder what other Reap cards there are. I'm gonna go for the Relics here, because I don't want to go to another Magic shop. Emblem is great. Egg. Worn Grindstone. I think that, I just did all this talking about how this negative numbers works. How does Worn Grindstone impact this? I think that this is plus 5 to the card. I'm really curious. I want to put it on. Yeah, so it's going to show the green number at 0 times 5. I wonder if she's 0 times 5 in combat. I don't really care if this is a waste of money. It doesn't bother me, basically, at all. So, I'm just curious, and I like to... I'm trying to rediscover my enjoyment for the game and not just be cynical. So instead of going, oh, I think this is how this works, and then dismissing it, I'm just going to take it and go, yeah, let's see what happens. What happens when I put Worn Grindstone down here? I believe, yeah, it is 0 times 5, because Worn Grindstone impacts the character itself. Oh, the Space Prism I took was worthless. Right. Forgot about that. And yeah, so Worn Grindstone actually is not useful at all when you have an Animus with a negative attack. Which is how I expected it to work, but I wasn't sure. And I don't want to just assume. I don't want to go, this is how it works, I'm sure of it. Because I'm not really sure of it. At all. Yeah, but plus 15 goes to 15. Alright. It's also good for me to do this stuff because when I forget things, basically, because I've played this game and there's a lot of interactions over a long period of time. And so it's good to be able to look at it and go, oh yeah, this is how this works. I remember now. Because I'll say to myself, this is how something works, I'm going to remember this, and then I'll remember it for a long time. I'll remember, like, I'll remember a specific interaction in the game, and then I'll say it out loud, and I'll go, is that how that works? I don't actually even know. It is how it works, usually. Or there'll be a reason that I think something. I'll be like, oh, I can't do this thing right now, but I don't know why. I just know I can't do it, and then I have to do it, relearn it. So, we can go through a period of Monster Train relearning, and, you know, it's not like I threw the run to take Worm Grindstone. That's what the moral of the story is. It's not like I'm dead here because of Worm Grindstone. Oh, the melee weakness... Yeah, I guess your attack is pretty low there. So melee weakness is less good here. Eternal Kinstone, I think it's not that useful. Yeah, I don't really want this. I think Preserve Thorns is a bait because of wing clippings. Multiple Preserve Thorns plays is pretty rough. I'm gonna go in Snare. And we're going... I could just duplicate the plus attack. There's a better duplicate here though, so let's go to the removals and the health. I am in for that. And we go, Steward, thank you for your service. I wonder if I would have lost that last combat if I didn't pick up Emblem. Maybe. I wasn't paying attention. Unleash goes to 0 cost. No plus 20 consumes. I'm looking for a holdover. It's not the end of the world if I don't see it, but it would be nice. I think Fracture down to 0, honestly. Alright, and I need... I'm at 75, so I need 25, which means 15 and 10. Plus 30 on Engraft is a hell yeah. I took Engraft for another source of healing that doesn't really bog the deck down, and a plus 30 makes it just that. This is Shadow Arcus. I play bottom floor. We have the healing here that we need for this to be fine. And I'm not taking curses. I refuse. We have like 3 healing cards, plenty of draw. Not a high damage output fight either. Oh, I can't play Force Contamination. Well, that does explain why I'm not going to play Force Contamination. I was like, I should just Force Contamination. No, actually I should. Or rather, I can't. I cannot. Too bad Arcus wasn't there for that turn, huh? Little 280 damage right there. Little harvest action. We are... I think we're really strong here. I think that this is a way to play these runs out that I never do. Which is to play Chef as a tank that kills the backline. And I think that the reason you never do this is because Wurmkin on its own has really bad survival options for this character. So it needs to be like Hellhorned Armor, Awoken Healing, because he has the base health to synergize with Awoken's healing. What could you play with this? You could play... No Umbra. I mean, maybe Umbra Prismal Dust, maybe. That's a strong maybe, though. Melting Reform probably could do it. You could just reform him a bunch. That doesn't sound terrible. We don't one-tap the boss, though, so it's like... 1, 2, it's 4 rounds? I guess a lot of my damage comes from the 73 Reap. Like, we've crushed floating bosses, but this is probably a bad sign for the Divinity. Channel Song, I think, would actually only put you to 8, because I think that Channel Song is influencing the card itself, so I don't think it's good. I will take Unearth Remains, because a higher Echo Cap is a higher amount of damage through Reap, and I'm going to take Energy. And we're going to go duplicate our damage. We need more damage cards. I'm going to get rid of Sharpen because it's very unplayable at 2 energy. And it's also not purple. I'm going to duplicate Echo Transfer, extremely playable, very good. Go to the Caverns, pick up a... I mean, Awoken Spike is fine. It's okay. I'm gonna purge an Echo Snare. I don't think we keep 2 of that card. With the wing clippings, Echo Snare is a little worse. And I just need something to purge. Now, in this run, I think that Spine Chef will... He'll roughly half health the Divinity, I think. We play top 4 here. No problem. We should roughly half health the Divinity with just Reap. And I think... it should be fine. I think we should have enough damage and we should have enough healing. I keep thinking like, man, where's my infusion, right? I keep sitting here going, man, where's my, forgot to play in Snare. I guess it doesn't matter. Like, where's my Steel Singer infusion? Oh yeah, I didn't take it. Oh yeah, I skipped it. Draw me a damage card, please. Thank you. Go transfer, right on time. Now, I am getting hit. Come on, man. I think this was it. I've been talking about the run. I think this was the run where I end up taking 0 damage and finish all trials. This guy lives at 2. He lives at 2 because Regen procs at the same time as Reap, I'm pretty sure, as well. Come on, man. How are you gonna do that to me, Monster Train? That was it. This was the one. This was the run. But a bad draw, like a pretty horrible draw, leads us to disaster. It's not disastrous. We are going to win pretty handedly, but also there's no telling. We might take damage elsewhere still, but I'm still not happy. Oh, this preserved. That's cool. Hypothetical infinite in Monster Train. Just win enough 50/50s on wing clippings to have your order, by the way. Win enough 50/50s to have your draw go forever until you kill them. It's theoretically possible. Actually, I guess it is possible to win like enough 50/50s in a row to just draw forever. Play Awoken's Rail Spike, draw another Awoken's Rail Spike. It's just a lot of 50/50s to win, man. It's a very unreasonable amount, but anyway. I feel like this run is pretty much in the bag. It's another, again, it's just another good, solid run of Monster Train. I have no problems with it. Invigorating Solution I would skip here, except it's purple. So, I will take it. Go right. We're gonna make another Echo transfer. Serrated Mandibles. This is crazy with Decayed Decoy. This is so much Reap. I don't think it's Volatile Gauge. Honestly, the run where I took Volatile Gauge and I said I think this is good here, and then the entire comment section was obviously Volatile Gauge was bad. I just want to click this every time out of spite. Usually when I have people tell me and like debate me in the comments about things, I'm like, oh well, I could see it either way. No, I think Volatile Gauge was good. I think it's actually strong, and people are on my case because I'm picking it in situations where it's clearly bad and almost getting away with it outside of a really unfortunate draw, and you're gonna say, oh well, obviously Volatile Gauge was bad here. No, I think it's good. I think it's actually good. You just have to build your run around it, and that means you have to have double energy, but it's hard to have the run built around it. That's all. I think Faulty Loader is not... No, Faulty Loader is good, because the enemies will go into the pyre with 1 dazed off of this, because they get 4 days total. So if turn 1 will go into the pyre with a daze, which is sometimes good. Fog Slime's fine. Mark of an Exile is also good. I'm just gonna buy the relics and leave. Did I already bought that. Yeah, okay, we're done here. I'm done here. I'm good. This run should crush Diligent Seraph. It's worth considering playing bottom 4 here. I don't like being cursed. So I'm gonna play bottom 4. The turn 1 is rough because of the curse enemy living, but Like I said, he will be going to the Pyre Dazed, which is fine. Echo Snare, wow, it actually is in my favor because it says consume. Yeah, nice. Excellent. It says consume, so it generates an echo, but it gets preserved. Wow. Yeah, we farmed this boss. It's actually so good for us. It's actually kind of nuts. Now that I'm starting to see it in action. Now, unfortunately, I can't play the card that says consume in my hand first. But yeah, the whole point of the wing clippings take at the start of the run was to beat this fight cleanly. And it's coin flips, but I will never run out of cards here. 16 does not put you low enough. There you go. Yeah, I think it's worth flipping. Just coin flip the preserve. For better or for worse, I think it's good to play the consume there. And we get invigorating solution. I think it doesn't matter. Too bad Seraph's not down here. What a shame. Oh, make sure you play this in the right order, by the way. No question is there. I was like, oh, well, maybe my man's gonna run out of health. We have Mark of an Exile. He's gonna tank forever. Do any of these say consume on them baseline? No. The worst card here is probably Ensnare. This is the worst Seraph for us, though, because unlike the other two Seraphs, Seraph the Diligent doesn't focus your floor because he doesn't have an aura effect that has to hit you. Like, he doesn't cleanse your debuffs or apply sap or anything like that. So he just goes wherever the hell he wants to put Light Wings down. I should farm this man. He should be dead. If any other Seraph was what I was fighting here, he would be dead. But alas, he gets to live. Too relentless. Yeah, I mean, look at this. He should be taking this sort of damage every round. His Reap should be so high. He's taking 1,300 from Reap here. That should be every round. I'm gonna actually just throw a bunch of Reap at him. 705. I think you might think that's overkill. I think it actually matters because we win for sure. But our Chief, holy shit! Hello, my brain is broke down. The Spine Chief here, he struggles because he has low base HP, but he has high enough with Mark of an Exile, and Seraph only does 42. And we do 500 per round, but that's still a lot of rounds. A full health Seraph needs to go like 9 rounds. 9 times 42 is like 360, 378, I think is the number I come up with. And like, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage that we can't take. I'm gonna play top 4 here. Bottom 4, no reason. No curses or anything like that. The Divinity will hit us every turn for 8, and I am operating under the assumption that I have enough healing to survive that. Just have to make sure I heal the Animus of Will, the Sentient, the Animus of Will every round. Which I will. I also pump a lot of Reap on him, although I only have 2 rounds to draw a heal. It's like every 4 rounds I have to draw a healing card, and I have 3 strong healing cards. Is it 3? Or is it only 2? Oh, it's only 2. It's a little more daunting. I have a lot of card draw though. I think I have to skip Razor Sharp in this combat is all. Which is fine, I don't mind. Put it here. But I think it's best to just skip it. Oh, Redirector. I should probably try to reap that. I have to draw my healing card here, so it's not a problem. The only problem is if I draw both healing cards here. I should be fine. It's gonna root the Spikes enemy. Could just kill it also. I think it's fine either way. I think it's better to put the Reap out actually. I think flat damage is better. Yeah, 12 damage is rough. It's kind of tight, actually. Oh, no, I have 3 cards. Sorry, I forgot about Glimmer when I was calculating my numbers. I have 3 cards. I'm fine. Although drawing two together is a little frightening. I just have to make sure that I'm playing the root seeds. Dude, what is going on with me today? I really wanted to call that card Rupture. That card is not called Rupture. That is not a card in this game. That's a Slay the Spire card. I need to make sure I'm playing root seeds to draw my deck fast enough to draw back to my healing cards in time. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, I bet if I play Force Contamination, the boss, the Divinity lives. Or no, sorry, the Inquisitor lives. But it moves me closer to killing with one tap. I think it's better not to. I think it's better not to. Now, it's a little scary here. Oh no, I have Unleash still. I thought Unleash was in my discard pile, and I was going to say I think I might get caught here. But no, we're chilling. Could I ever... How much is this? 369, 927, 140. Yeah, no fucking way. I'm gonna say, if I could ever kill the Spikes here, it would be good. Also, Spike's boss coming up. I'll probably just root him and try to ignore him, because that's tough too. I don't think I can just root and ignore him. No, I cannot. Please no step. Takes 18 here from... Oh my god, because of the multi-strike. Oh, what a misplay. I forgot the Wing Conduit puts multi-strike on the Divinity. Ooh, that's really bad. Because this is a Spikes boss? Oh, that's not good. Well. That's a real shame, isn't it? I think I might just die. Right? What do you do about this? I think you just perish. You know, what an oversight. What an oversight on my part. Ensnare just a little too late. I don't think there's a big play that gets you out of this, unfortunately. I'm gonna let it be. I mean, I lost this one fair and square. I made one oversight, though, on this entire run. And I lose the game for it, because that's Monster Train. That's how this game is. I overlooked one small factor, and I died. It's extremely punishing of mistakes, isn't it? Sure is. That feels so awful. Overlooked the I should have killed the multi-strike, man. I was putting damage on the Divinity. I was like, oh yeah, we just lower his max HP because I don't live long in Relentless. Yeah, I live no time in Relentless, actually. So what's the play there? What's the difference maker? The actual thing you do there, there's a very clear thing that I can do overall to make that better. You play the Animus in front. The Divinity has sweep. Every enemy is dazed. There is no reason to put the Animus behind. Animus goes in front, takes the Emblem of the Exiles. That runs easy. I could replay it and win it, but it's like... So I overlooked two things there overall. But yeah, that's Monster Train. You make your one mistake and you die. Or two, in this case. I think I would have actually still died in Relentless because my Animus would have only lived like one round. And that's not enough damage. But... Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.